Okay, now before I get started, I want to show you something that I've got here. This is a camera that I found in a flea market in France, and it's the first single lens reflex camera. It was made about 1960, so that's about the time I started making films. And now I've got Parkinson's, so I'm a little shaky. So if you want to hire somebody to do shaky cam, I'm your guy. But if you want it to be steady and smooth, I'm not your guy. Okay, I went to the San Francisco Art Institute and studied filmmaking. And for a graduate project, we made a film called Messages, Messages, which was a surrealistic 28-minute black and white film with an electronic soundtrack. Somewhat arrogant, my partner and I, Stephen Arnold, we were above it all. We thought we were the best filmmakers in the school. So we refused to show it at the end of term when everybody else showed their films. We didn't want to show it in a classroom. We wanted to show it in a theater. So we set out trying to find a theater, and nobody would give us their theater or give us the space to do it. So as it ended up, I took a trip to New York to meet Salvador Dali because he had inspired the film. So I learned that Dali took his winter holidays in New York and stayed at the St. Regis Hotel. So I stayed outside the hotel in a snowstorm waiting for him to show up, and I see these handlebar mustache kind of come through this white, this cane come through this white snowy fog. And I think I pulled on his cape and said, "Mr. Dali, you really inspired us. I'd like to show you the film that we made." So he looked at the film and really liked it and said that he would have a premiere for me in the hotel ballroom, which he did, and he invited his Andy Warhol and the factory people, Viva and all those people came, and a lot of young artists, up-and-coming artists came. And it was very nervous showing because the film wasn't really finished and there were many splices in it. And the splice would go through the projector, and I was always afraid it would break. And Gala, his wife, held my hand through the whole thing and comforted me, and it was quite something. And I spent the next couple of days with Dali. And when I went back to San Francisco, the local newspaper wrote up my adventure. And then we found a theater that would take it on because we're getting all this publicity about the film. So when we premiered it in San Francisco, 2,000 people show up. And from there, the film was seen by somebody at the San Francisco Film Festival, and somebody from Cannes was there and invited it to the Cannes Film Festival. And so all of this was due to Dali's generosity of kind of taking us under his wing. Who would have cared about the film had he not been associated with it, even in a tangential way? So it's important, as you're doing work, to think about how to couple a name or some agreement, which makes it kind of special. And so that was a lesson. Every film that I've made, I've discovered something new that it will enhance its chances out there. You want to stand out from the crowd. And we certainly did, and people still talk about it today.